Hey guys, it's Jeremy here at Metal Music Meltdown, back with another video. Whoever today, guys, is another album review. This time we're going to be checking out the latest offering from the band Spiritworld. This is their third full-length entitled Helldorado, just released on March 21st, 2025 through Century Media Records. They're based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Their third full-length in total. This has got 10 tracks. It's only 28 and a half minutes long, so a very short album. It's a follow-up to their previous album, Death Western, in 2022, which was my introduction to the band. I don't think I actually heard that album until 2023, at least. And I fell in love with that album right away. I'm like, wow, this is a really killer, kind of weird infusion of like country western a little bit, but primarily just balls out thrash with like an aggressive, hardcore vocal, like crossover feel. Really dug the last album. I've a high rotation on me ever since I heard it. So I was really pumped to hear the new album that just dropped, to see what if they continued that sound or what they would do. And starting with the artwork, I really dig the artwork. Same artist that did the previous album, kind of carries along their motif of the country western feel, but like kind of a darker edge to it. And if you've ever seen these guys live, they all wear like these kind of country western outfits and stuff to kind of play up to the whole theme, which is kind of cool, very unique. But this album, guys, at first listen, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of disappointed. It was kind of a weird album. Like half the tracks were like the same as the previous album, just thrashy bangers, just like Slayer worship riffs and like intense and like headbanging and like mid-pace bangers. It's all over the place. But then the other half of the songs were like this weird country western ballady, very like lacking intensity. It was just kind of weird mix of music. Beginning with the opening track, Abilene Grime, an okay track, but it took a while to get going. It was kind of a slow burn. Not a song I would put as the opening track. For me, I want the opening track to grab me right away in the first 5 or 10 seconds of the song, and then just kind of pummel you and get you all hyped up. I found the song didn't get going until about 2 minutes in, and in my opinion, not really an effective song to have as the opener. Not the worst song on the album, kind of in the middle, but as an opening song, I don't think it was effective. But the next two songs, No Vacancy in Heaven and number 3, Western Stars and the Apocalypse, were pure thrash, aggressive, dark, Slayer worshipping riff thrash metal, like just intense, crossover with the hardcore vocals. His vocals are really punchy and really aggressive. Love those two songs, just bangers, like really good riffs. A lot of groove in it, but like a high intensity, very heavy. The riffs are pretty simple, but really effective and heavy. And those two songs were bangers. And then they did a 180 over to Birdsong of Death, which kind of more leaned on the country western feel. It had like really twangy guitars at the beginning. And at first my face kind of went like, what the fuck is this? And it just lacked the intensity. It was kind of like a weird step down from the previous two songs. It just went really, really mellow. It was kind of an earworm on the chorus in a weird way. But at the same time, the blend of the melody of the twangy kind of country guitars with his still kind of hardcore vocal delivery was kind of a weird blend. It wasn't matching well at all. And then after that, they got even more mellow with a ballad called Prayer Lips. And that song it's just over 2 minutes, which is kind of a weird thing for a ballady song. But it was just, again, very acoustic driven. They even had a saxophone solo in it closer to the end. He did this kind of weird, kind of whispering kind of voice, which I don't think sounded good at all. In my opinion, that's probably the worst song on the album. No intensity at all. And it just felt out of place. And then right after that, they go right back to a thrash banger called Waiting on the Reaper, which is just super intense, crazy again, like Slayer, early Exodus riff kind of worship, and just a banger. And then same with Oblivion, the one after that, another 3-minute short song, but really intense and aggressive. And then they kind of did another 180, and then they had this song called The Cleansing, number 8, which was essentially an instrumental, but didn't really have any lyrics, but it wasn't intense, it wasn't heavy. It kind of just drifted by. It didn't really Have a Purpose, in my opinion, was kind of a throwaway track. And then Stigmata Scars, number 9, was probably the most death metal song on the album in the riffage. And Oblivion actually had this kind of cool, went back, sorry. Oblivion had this cool part at the end. They had a guest vocalist on the album. He did this kind of black metal, screechy kind of vocals at the end of the song, which is kind of cool, added dimension. Stigmata Scars, like I said, was full of groove. A little bit more death metal on this one, kind of reminiscent of like Obituary or something like that. Kind of a death metal feel, but more groove laden. And the last song, Analysm, was another song that was kind of more mellow and they kind of went back, infusing more of the country western kind of vibe into it. So it's kind of a weird album. I didn't find it to be cohesive at all. They kept bouncing back and forth between this like pure, super intense headbanging thrash masterpieces, and then just kind of doing a complete 180 to like a ballad, and then back to another thrash headbanger, and then back to another more really kind of softer song. It was kind of all over the place. I felt like 2 albums kind of forced together that didn't match. It was kind of a weird experience listening to it from beginning to end. But the standout tracks by far were No Vacancy in Heaven, Western Stars of the Apocalypse, Waiting on the Reaper, Oblivion, and Stigmata Scars. I'd say are the 5 out of the 10. But then Prayer Lips, Bird Song of Death, and Cleansing, and Analysm, all those 4 songs weren't that great at all, to be honest with you. They kind of felt out of place. They weren't the worst song I've ever heard, but they just didn't match the other music on the album. And then the Abilene Grime at the beginning was kind of like in the middle, kind of not as heavy as the other songs, but not quite as soft as the other ones, kind of in the middle ground. It was just an okay song. In my opinion, what they should have done is just kind of had those 5 really aggressive songs and just release it as an EP, in my opinion. It's almost as length of an EP as it is, but I think they just should have had a 5-track EP. I think it would have been more effective that way and hard-hitting, more cohesive, and just a better option, in my opinion. But it is what it is, guys. Production overall was good. The mix, the vocals were a little bit further ahead in the mix than I would like. I would prefer more guitar forward, but overall wasn't horrible. But my rating, guys, I'm unfortunately only going to give this a 6 out of 10. The songs that are good are really, really good, and then the songs that are bad are bad. So overall ranking, I'm going to give it a 6. I'm kind of disappointed with this album, to be honest. I'll probably go back and listen to those songs from time to time, because I do really dig them. If the whole album was like that, it would have been an easy like 9 out of 10 album. But it is what it is. I think down the road, the guy's vision really is to put out like more of an alternative country western album. I think he's kind of slowly drifting away from the intensity and the kind of thrashier sound. I'm hoping the next album will be a little bit more kind of on the heavier side, but we'll see what happens. So let me know down below, guys, what you thought of the album, and stay tuned for a bunch of more reviews coming up. I've got 4 more albums I want to review, hopefully the next week or so. So thanks for watching, guys. Keep it metal.